As the school year begins and kids return to the classroom for the first time in many places since the start of the pandemic, a war is being fought over mask mandates, and it's gotten ugly. Right now, of course, the Delta variant of COVID-19 is sweeping through the unvaccinated population, which now accounts to about 90 to 95% of all COVID-19 hospitalizations. And while adults are more likely to develop severe illness requiring hospitalization, children under 12 are now a growing share of those hospitalizations. And so as a result, you have a lot of school boards across the country that are looking to pass mask mandates. Some already have, even as Republican governors try to ban them. And so now this is, of course, up until such time as vaccines gain final approval, which might not be done until the end of the year. And I mean final approval for those, of course, who are under 12. For everyone else, it's fully FDA approved. But they're still doing additional testing to make sure that it is safe to give people under 12. So now the idea of mandating masks for children has run up against severe resistance from conservatives, anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, and all that. In fact, I'm going to show you here a couple of examples of the rhetoric that we are hearing from that side of the political spectrum. In fact, here was a Santa Monica rally that happened on Sunday ahead of Monday's mask mandate vote by the LA City Council. This is an anti-vaxxer, Jason Lefkowitz, who doxed city council members to his crowd and vowed to track down any who vote for the measure, and even called for civil war. I've got a video of this guy speaking. You can take a look for yourself.
1 week! Tomorrow, they vote. If it's unanimous, we lost. We lost. Sharpen your knives, get your guns, get your food. Now! Now! That's right. Now! Yeah. Get your neighbors, get a stronghold, find out who the men are, and make a plan. They are coming. This is global tyranny. They're coming for all of us. Everyone, they're coming for you and all your pawns. It doesn't end. It doesn't end until we end it. So after this first vote, if it's unanimous, God help us. But it's not going to be, okay? Because some people have souls. So the whole entire next week, we find out who voted yes, and you show up at their house. We need to intimidate these people. Yes, I'm saying that. You need to intimidate these people.
What happens if it passes?
Civil war.
Yeah.
Civil war. That's what's going to happen. In a month, in 2 months, by December, civil war's coming, people. Get your guns. Get your guns. Get your food. Get a plan together. It's done.
You know what you need to do, dude? You gotta watch your blood pressure. That vein's about ready to bulge out of your neck and move somewhere else. Like that vein in his neck is like, no, dude, you're too crazy for me. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Okay, I'm not interested. I gotta go. What is going on here? Insane. Again, civil war. Go civil war. This guy, by the way, what he's doing is dangerous. He is literally doxing people in the hopes, these council members, in the hopes that they will be physically assaulted by the people in the crowd. That guy needs to bring it down a little bit, all right? Lay off the caffeine or whatever, or crack. You know, I don't know if he's watched like My Pillow Guy too much, but that's what happens when you do too much, okay? Like you need to bring it down. All right? No, seriously though, he's deeply unhinged, obviously. Seems to be a violent conspiracy theorist, has of course spread the big lie about the election, and has already, of course, allowed violence to happen at his rallies. In fact, there was a journalist, Vishal Singh, who said he was violently assaulted at one of Lefkowitz's rallies, covering it. And it's an incident that was caught on tape in which far-right extremists have sought to blame on get this one. Antifa. Yeah, of course. It was Antifa's fault. Okay, but you're at a rally where there is a guy that is calling for people to get their guns and stock up on the guns, stock up on the knives, stock up on the food. By the way, food buckets, $19.99 a piece. No, I'm not saying that he's doing that, okay? But like, it seems like every person on the right wing who sounds like a prepper, which this guy seems to sound a little bit like, is selling food buckets, like the Jim Baker buckets. You know, oh, get this delicious end of the world food for only $39.99 per bucket. Look, we got macaroni and cheese. We got chili. We got custard. We got pudding, red pudding. Ugh. And it's all disgusting, or looks disgusting. Yeah. Survive the end times with this powdered chili. Add water. Where are you gonna get the water? Okay, but anyway, yeah. So, no, but this guy, again, these people are calling for civil war. They do the civil war over wearing a mask, over having a kid wear a mask in school. In school where you have, get this, you have a dress code. You have a dress code. There are schools where a girl cannot wear a skirt that is not, you know, that isn't below the knee. Okay, so can't wear short skirts to school because that's bad. But it's okay going without a mask during a deadly pandemic. Sure, priorities, folks, priorities. And yet, I don't know. I can't tell who the violent ones are. I can't tell who's wrong here. Yeah, I don't know. Everything seems to be real evil. Above the knee, sorry. Believe me, the train of nut jobs continues. All right? So now we have Steve Lynch. Steve Lynch is another far-right conspiracy theorist and a pro-Trump Republican who is the Pennsylvania Party, Republican Party's nominee to become Northampton County Executive. Here's what he said about the school boards.
Men, where are you? Men, wake up, smell the coffee, let's go. Make men great again, right? Make men again. Let's go. Men, I need you in the coming weeks, because when we walk into those school boards, we're going to have everything we need to do to go in there with those 9 of school boards that voted to put these masks back on the children with no scientific. It's done giving them the research and the data. Do you understand that? Forget going into these school boards and bringing data. You go into school boards to remove them. That's what you do. They don't follow the law. They don't follow the law. You go in and you remove them. I'm going in with 20 strong men. I'm going to speak in front of the school board, and I'm going to give them an option. They can leave or they can be removed. This is how you get stuff done. Forget writing your legislators. Forget it. They're not listening. You got to do something. It's us. It's we the people.
The guy went on to talk about how he'd be willing to die on this hill. Like, literally die. So, yeah. No, not... whoa. Violence? What are you talking about? Violence? Oh, no. Not at all. I'm just going to threaten to come in with 20 strong men and go remove these people by force. Hey, and he's a Republican nominee. Keeping it classy, Pennsylvania. And by the way, this is a twofer. Toxic masculinity and calls for violence. So, well done. I need 20 strong men to go and take over a school board filled with likely to be old, elderly parents, or maybe not elderly, but, parents from the community, regular people. No, let's do that. No, we need to make men great again. Hey, you know what? No, we don't, actually. Men, actually pretty great. I mean, especially vaccinated men. Vaccinated men that go and protect their community, that's some alpha male shit right there. Let me tell you. That's actually taking care of your community. That's being the protector. That's the role of a protector, protecting your family, your community from a virus that could harm them and yourself. I mean, hey, if you get COVID and you die, when you're no longer able to provide for your family, you're no longer be able to protect your family. Alpha male, real alphas get the injection. We get the vax. Look, I even know, like, I know guys who hate the needles, right? I'm not a fan of needles, right? They still got vaccinated because guess what? That's what a real man does. Now, I'm guessing, of course, Lynch might be a little too scared to do it, or let's be honest, a lot of these right-wing grifters tend to be people who have gotten vaxxed and then just pander to the crowd of unvaxxed people. But if not, he isn't, well, sack up, get your balls, and take the needle. That's it. Be a man. Be a real man. Now, I'm going to nerd out for a bit, okay? So those of you in the audience, every once in a while, I like to go and use nerdy references. And I think this is appropriate to the whole entirety of this COVID-19 pandemic, okay? And in regards to the anti-masker, anti-vaxxer crowd, right? So I'm going to go to a Star Trek reference. You're going to love this. So in Star Trek, there's a race called the Klingons, right? So Klingons are supposed to be strong warriors. They're honorable. These are the real men. They're the Sigma males. Yeah, they're Sigma males, right? Super strong. They don't care what anybody thinks about them. No, they're warriors. They're gonna die for honor. Okay, so now there's a story that they told on the Next Generation, Star Trek Next Gen, right? And this is the episode Rightful Heir. I'm gonna read this straight up from Memory Alpha. Klingon history, as preserved in the sacred texts, told of a time when Kahless the Unforgettable, it's like their Jesus, Klingon Jesus, was in the city of Quinlat. As a great storm approached the city, the residents sought protection within the walls, except for one man who stayed outside the walls. Now you see where this one's going, right? When Kahless went to the man, he asked him, "What are you doing?" The man replied, "I am not afraid. I will not hide my face behind stone and mortar. I will stand before the wind and make it respect me." Kahless then, of course, respected the man and returned to the safety of the walls. You know what happened? The storm killed him. That's it. That's the moral of the story. The wind does not respect a fool. Viruses like COVID-19 do not respect fools. They will fucking kill you. Okay? And I have numerous examples. Mark Bernier, a Florida radio host, known as Mr. Anti-Vax, shocker, died over the weekend. His death comes months after he vowed in the air that he would never get the coronavirus vaccine. Well, you fuck around, you find out. That's just exactly what happened. Caleb Wallace, I did a story on him on Friday. He is the organizer, or was the organizer, of an anti-mask freedom rally. Guess what? He also died over the weekend. Congratulations. Another right-wing radio host, Dick Farrell. Dick Farrell, earlier this month, died of COVID after a month-long battle. Farrell, who had described Anthony Fauci as a power-tripping lying freak who conspired with the power trip libloons, had urged people not to get vaccinated as recently as June. He reportedly changed his opinion about vaccines before passing away on August 4th at the age of 65. He texted me and told me, "Get it?" He told me this virus is no joke, and he said, "I wish I had gotten the vaccine," said close friend Amy Lee Hare on Facebook. On and on and on. Every day, every couple of days, we have a new story of a right-wing radio host, I believe it was Phil Valentine, that recently died as well within the last week or so. COVID-19, same thing. Anti-vaxxers talk tough on the internet and say, "Oh, I'm not going to get my vaccine. I believe in freedom." Yeah, you shouldn't either. And then what happens? They get COVID-19 and they die. I wonder what keeps happening. Why does this keep happening? Oh, it must be Antifa. Jesus Christ. But here's the thing. I don't really care if they die. All right, I'm out of empathy. Whatever. But here's the thing. You're putting you're putting the kids in danger. You're putting the school board members and the teachers in danger, in actual danger. Just last week, there was an unvaccinated teacher who showed up to her elementary school classroom in Marin County, California, while experiencing symptoms like cough, subjective fever, and headache, and ended up infecting half of the classroom, 12 out of 24 students, as well as some of their family members, because the kids, of course, they brought it home and infected their families. This is according to a CDC report on Friday. The teacher, who initially attributed symptoms to allergies, was one of only 2 staff members that were not vaccinated at the elementary school. Of course. A majority of the students sitting in the first 2 rows of the classroom contracted the virus, while a minority of those sitting at the back of the class were infected, which of course is the mode of transmission for COVID-19, close contact, without a mask, of course. And by the way, the teacher did occasionally read aloud to the students while not wearing a mask, despite the school requirements to mask while indoors, according to the report. I think it's time for mandates. That's it. That's it. The FDA has approved the vaccine. It's time. It's time for the mandates. I don't give a goddamn about these troglodytes, all right? I'm done with the virus. I'm done. I'm tired of you treading on our freedoms. Stop treading on me, bro. You know what? People don't get to see a doctor when they get sick now. Why? Because the hospitals are overflowing with COVID-19 patients. Again, 95% unvaccinated. Y'all are clogging up our medical system, which already sucks enough to begin with. Now we can't do that. There are other things that we can't do either. And I'm also tired of worrying that somebody's going to get assaulted, whether it be the, person at the grocery store who asked somebody to put a mask on, or these school board members that are being targeted and attacked and intimidated by these lunatics, all for doing their job and trying to keep people safe from this virus. That doesn't give a damn about your political ideology. It's a virus. I'm done with it all. I'm done. Bring on the mandates. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.